What is constantly pulling at your attention? What is distracting you? So a few years ago, this was me. I was constantly distracted, wasting countless hours every day on social media and spam checking my phone to see if I was missing anything every few minutes. My screen time was through the roof, my attention span was non-existent, and I couldn't really do anything without having the constant desire to reach for my phone. I was unable to be present and I was unhappy. But then one day, after years of wasting time, I decided enough was enough and it was time to make a change. So I did all the research I could and figured out how to block all the distractions in my life. My phone, my computer, and everything else. Over the past few years, I've been constantly improving and refining that system. Let me walk you through how you can set this up for yourself right now for free and completely block all distractions from your life for once and for all. So if you feel like you're constantly distracted, lacking focus, and wasting all your time, then this video is for you. I'm now able to spend long hours in deep focused work. I've regained my attention and am able to be present in the moment that I'm in without having to constantly reach for a distraction. So let's get into the video. But before we get started, if you're new here, I'm Ryan. I'm a software engineer based in Boston, and on this channel, we explore how to live more optimized, happier, and healthier lives. The first thing you need to do to completely block all distractions in your life is identify triggers. In other words, identify the distractions in your life. What is constantly pulling at your attention? What is distracting you? For me, it was YouTube, Instagram, my texts, my email, and Netflix. I was spending hours and hours a day on all these things, switching between them. And when I was gone on the go, I was constantly checking my texts. I was constantly refreshing my email and checking it, even when I wasn't expecting anything. I was just always distracted. So step one is to identify the distractions in your life. These are the things that you want to stop spending time on. So take some time right now to figure out what it is that's pulling on your attention all the time. Now you can either write that down or just keep that in mind. Let's go on to step two. Okay, step two is to add friction and to actually block your distractions. Now this may change a bit based on what your distractions are, but I would assume that many of us have very similar distractions. That being social media in our phone, Netflix, checking our email a lot, going on our computer on websites we shouldn't be going on. So I'm going to show you all the tools and the systems that I've set up to create friction and stop these distractions from constantly pulling at my attention. Let me walk you through the system. Okay, let's start with by far the most distracting thing there is, my phone. And it's in black and white usually. I don't know if the screen recording shows in black and white, but I've set up a hotkey that you can set up in the settings under accessibility, where I can triple click the power button to turn off black and white. So my phone is set up as a dumb phone. Now, obviously this is very extreme and I don't expect anyone to do that, especially as part of this video where you're just trying to block out distractions. But if you want to know how to do that, I made a video about it. You can check that out in the corner, one of these corners. But this app that I used is called Blank. You can just download it and it'll walk you through how to create your own dumb phone. I'm not gonna go over that in this video, but if you want to do that, that's how I made my phone look like this. Now let's get into the tools that I use to block out distractions. And first, and by far the most effective one, is an app that is called ScreenZen. With ScreenZen, when you open the app, you can set up groups and add different apps that you want to block in there. So whenever I open ScreenZen, I have an automation set up on my phone that automatically brings it to another app, which is a counter app, which I'll just show you. Okay, so I open ScreenZen and it automatically moves over to this counter app. And this countdown is how many days I have left in my life if I live as long as the average male in the United States. Let me go ahead and turn off this automation real quick so I can show you how ScreenZen works. So automation, okay, let's just disable this. Okay, so when you open ScreenZen, you're gonna have a blank screen, but what you can do is you can add these app groups, right? You select all the apps that are distracting to you, and then you click save. Then it's gonna ask you how long you wanna spend on each app. You can just click whatever, it doesn't really matter. And you'll get to this screen, right? So these are the apps you have selected, right? Save that. And how ScreenZen works is it creates a speed bump when you log onto that app. So if I was to try to get on Instagram right now, you can see this is my ScreenZen block that I have set up called Rule 1. And if I wanted to get on Instagram, I would have to wait 45 seconds. So if I click this, I literally just have to sit here and wait 45 seconds. And if I exit the app, it completely resets the countdown and I can't get on the app for the rest of the day. That's my one-of-one use, right? So I have mine set up so I can only get on with each of these distracting apps once a day, and my limit is 10 minutes. So you can set this up however you want. So you can set the pause for between 0 seconds and 5 minutes. And then you can set a goal for each. Do you want to open each app 1 time? No goal, 10 times, 30 times. After I open Instagram once, it's just blocked. I can't get on it again. I have it set to 1. So you can set this to whatever you want. And the amount of time that you want to spend, this will kick you out of the app after you get to this time. And if you want to get on again, say I have it set to 2 times, I can go back on Instagram and wait another 45 seconds. Okay, then you can set up a schedule. I really like this schedule, and I'll show you why later, but this is just when it's active. You can just leave it to always active for very distracting apps, and then just some other things. But the most important is the apps you select, how many times you can open it, how long you have to wait, and how long you can use it each day. So let me show you what I have set up. So I have 2 groups set up. One is called Infinity Pools, and one is called Intention. And Infinity Pools is apps that you can spend infinite time on. That's why they're called Infinity Pools. So this would be pretty much all social media: Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, TikTok, Threads, X, Facebook. Yeah, you get the idea. It's basically all social media and Netflix and other distracting apps, right? And I have to wait 45 seconds, as I showed you, before I can get on any of these apps. So TikTok, so you see, 45 seconds. I can only open each app once a day for 10 minutes each time. And it's always active. I don't know why this is even on a schedule. This is literally midnight to midnight every day. So I might as well just click that. So this is always active. And this literally keeps me off social media all the time, except when I'm posting. The only time it's worth it for me to go on and sit at this screen for 45 seconds is when I have a video to post, which is exactly how I want it. I never just want to just go on TikTok or go on Instagram when I don't want to go on, and I don't want to waste my time. So this block is absolutely perfect, and I have it once a day. You can set whatever is perfect for you if you want to go on multiple times a day and however long you want to go on. So boom, set that up. And then this is this other one that I've set up in the past couple of months, and this has been a huge game changer for me when I didn't really expect it to be. So one of the problems with my phone and smartphones is they constantly send you notifications and distract you. And one of the apps that is doing this a lot is Messages, and for me, WhatsApp as well. So I was constantly getting texts through Messages and WhatsApp when my phone was in my pocket or on my desk. It was just constantly pulling at my attention. So what I wanted to do was set up a system so that I only get these texts when I go log into the app. So I was able to do this using ScreenZen. So if I go here, I have this set up for Messages, WhatsApp, and email, and it's a 0-second pause, and it just says intention. So I want to be intentional about going on these apps. I'm allowed on 5 times a day. I don't actually check my email 5 times a day, but I do need to check my texts 5 times a day, and I'm allowed on for 5 minutes. So if I was to show you, if I was to log on to Messages, I would just click unlock here for 0 seconds, click here, and then boom, I'm on to my Messages, right? So same for WhatsApp, it's a 1-second delay, and same for Gmail. Now you may ask, well, what does this do? So what this does is I don't actually get any notifications from my Messages or from WhatsApp. And the only time I see my notifications and my messages is when I open the app. So I'm intentional about using my attention to look at my messages. It's not constantly pulling at me, and I don't need to constantly check my phone and see if I missed a text, see if I missed a message, see if I missed an email. I only go on when I think it's important, right? So I'll check a few times a day, respond to my messages. Yeah, 5 times a day is a lot. So you can set this to whatever you want. I have it set for 5 times a day for 5 minutes. It's a strict block, and I have this scheduled Monday through Thursday, and it's off Friday and Saturday afternoon. So afternoon on Friday and Saturday, it's off. This is because Friday and Saturday are the days I usually see my friends a lot. So I want to get messages instantly rather than having to log onto the app to see if I have any. With these 2 groups, that's pretty much 90% of the distractions on my phone covered with just this app. But I found that I'm always going onto the app and turning off the group. So I had to set up an automation. So every time I open the app, it'll automatically redirect me to another app. That app being that countdown with my life counter. So it shows, do you really want to waste your time? You have this many days left in your life. So I turned this off originally so I could show you. So I'm gonna turn this back on. Now if I try to open ScreenZen, boom, automatically redirects me, right? And if you find yourself continuing to open shortcuts, turning it off, if you're that addicted, then you can set up a block for the Shortcuts app through ScreenZen or some other app. So let me show you the shortcuts. It's just when ScreenZen is open. So when an app is opened, run immediately, and then do open this app. So it's easy to set up shortcuts and automations in your phone. Just open up the Shortcuts app, click on the automation tab in the middle, and then click plus to add a new one, and click when an app is opened, run immediately. So choose an app, whatever. And then what happens, right? You can click open Audible, set a timer, blah, blah, blah. So you can just set this up to redirect you to whatever. Okay. So, boom, when ScreenZen is open, show countdowns. Great. So yeah, like I said, this will redirect me, boom, to this app. Okay. ScreenZen covers, like I said, 90% of distractions on my phone, but I have another app called Purge. And this app, I also will not be able to get on because of the you can see how blocked this one is. So this one is blocked by ScreenZen, and I have a redirect in the automations. Every time I open Purge, it will redirect me, and it's blocked through ScreenZen, so I can never really get in Purge. So let me just explain how Purge works, because I don't want to turn all this off. As you can see, this system really works. So how Purge works is it blocks all of some form of content using a VPN. This will automatically block any adult content from coming up, not safe for work stuff on Reddit, or not safe for work stuff on Twitter. I just don't really want all that stuff on my phone because I use my phone for business and it's just distracting and I just don't want to see that stuff. So it blocks adult stuff, and you can also block other things using Purge. It just sets up a VPN and blocks whatever you want. So it's free to use. Go in the App Store, search up an app called Purge. It has a dog logo. I'll show you how it works, but my system is too good. I literally can't get into it, and it takes so long to undo this. So just download the app, follow the instructions, set it up. It'll take you like a few minutes free. Between those two apps, it's pretty much everything blocked on my phone. And then I have these automations set up so I literally can't open those apps. So between all that, keeping my phone in black and white, and having a dumb phone, literally have no motivation to go on my phone at all. On top of all this, I leave my phone behind a lot of the time when I go do things in person that I don't need my phone for, like going to a meal, going to see my family, going to see friends. And then on top of that, I put my phone in that lock box over there and lock it up for like 6 to 8 hours every day. So I'm doing my deep work and I can't get to my phone. The passcode to unlock that box I have hidden in my closet somewhere really annoying to get to. So I literally can't access my phone for hours and hours and hours every day inside that box. So I'll leave a link to that box in the description. I also made a video about that box. You can click here to watch one of those. But that's obviously very extreme between Purge and ScreenZen. Those are both free, and that's a completely good system that will probably work for most of you. Okay, so that covers your phone, which is probably by far the most distracting thing. But now let's get over to my computer and I can show you everything I have set up for my computer. Now, let me walk you through how I block out all distractions on my computer. Now, to do this, we need to go to see my Chrome extensions. So before I used Google Chrome and all the Chrome extensions were a part of Google Chrome. Now I use a browser called Arc, but it's the same thing, it's basically Chrome. So this is all done using Chrome extensions, and I believe you can do this in Firefox with extensions. And I don't know if Safari has extensions, but whatever browser you use, see if extensions are a part of it. So manage extensions. And as you can see already, there is a block. So you have to wait 30 seconds to get even into the extensions. This is so I can't just go into my extensions and turn them off, because I used to just do that. So gotta wait 30 seconds to get into my extensions. Now you can see all the extensions I have on my computer. Now, it's not that many. The main problem for me is YouTube. So you can see I have a lot of YouTube blockers, and then this interesting extension called OneSec. And OneSec is the most important one by far. If you're gonna get any, I would suggest getting OneSec. How OneSec works is you literally just select some websites and the duration you wanna wait, and then a phrase. So put the websites in here. And yeah, select the duration and a phrase, right? So once you have the extension installed in the Chrome extensions web store, which I'll leave a link to the Chrome extension web store below, and I'll leave a link to all the extensions and all the apps below in the description. In the lockbox, everything I've talked about will be in the description. So come over here to my extensions. You can see 1sec. And with all these apps that I have inputted, if I try opening these, like YouTube, boom, you can see the message, value 1. And I have to wait 60 seconds. 60 seconds before getting onto YouTube. That's because YouTube was a huge problem for me. Twitter, let's see how long I have to wait. 20 seconds. Twitter wasn't that much of a problem for me. Instagram, 4 attempts a week, 2 attempts a week. You can see all this stuff. Rented 27 times. I don't know how real any of these stats are, but just put all the websites that distract you here and you can custom select the amount of time for each website. Or you can just set this once and that'll be the same for all. But like I have Gmail here, which I would spam check, and I set the duration to like 10 seconds because you do need to check your email sometimes. So if I try open my email, well, you just gotta wait 10 seconds using 1sec. So this alone is a lot of friction, but I noticed with this, I would still go on YouTube. So I downloaded 3 extensions, one called Distraction-Free YouTube. This one, I believe, removes all comments and suggested videos and turns off autoplays. And then we have Unhook, which removes the entire home section from YouTube, so you can only see your subscriptions. It also hides shorts, suggested. And then another one called YouTube Shorts Block. This just blocks shorts. I was so addicted to shorts for a while. So these 3 extensions on top of 1sec is enough for me to not go on YouTube very much at all, unless I'm uploading a video or responding to comments. So between those 4 things, that's a lot. 1sec should be plenty for most people. And on top of all that, I have this app called Delayed Gratification. And this is the one that you saw when I first tried to open the extensions page. But you basically set a waiting time, you lock you out after a certain period. It's set to 5 minutes, and then you add bad websites. I just literally only have my extensions page in here because I have everything blocked with 1sec. So whenever I try opening my extensions page, I don't know if it's gonna work if I exit out. And then, yeah, so I have 5 minutes to go in, but as you saw at the beginning, 30-second wait to get into my extensions. And this is so I don't just go turn them off. This is literally like a locked in system. So that's how I block everything on my computer. It's pretty simple, like the phone, but this literally keeps me out of everything. And then what I do now also is I just started doing this recently and I found this to be really amazing. So I walk around with a little drawstring, or like a little backpack, and I keep my phone in there all the time. So there's a little bit of friction for me to reach for my phone. So when I'm seeing my friends and hanging out, I don't just go reach for my phone. When I go to somebody's house or something, I just put my backpack by the door, leave my phone there. So I have my phone with me if I need it, but other than that, I'm just present in the moment. And I found this is actually such a small thing, but it really makes me a lot happier and a lot more present when I'm with my friends. So I just carry around my phone and everything I need in a little drawstring bag when I walk around. So I would suggest giving that a shot too. Between that and all the blocks I show you on my phone, all the blocks on my computer, that's like 95% of distractions in my life. As far as the TV goes and Netflix, if this is a big problem for you, I would highly suggest, boom, that lockbox that I talked about earlier. But if you don't want to spend money on that lockbox, which I totally understand, what you can do is just create friction. So take the batteries out of the remote, put them somewhere hard to get, put the remote on the other side of your house. Make it so you have to go through a ton of steps if you want to watch TV. If you're addicted to a video game, delete the video game, add a blocker, hide your mouse, just figure out whatever you need to do to create as much friction as possible. Friction is the key. Identifying triggers, create friction. And with those 2 steps, hopefully you can completely block all distractions in your life. Okay, let's get on to the next step. Okay, now on to step 3, what to do with your time now that you have all these distractions blocked. Now that we've added friction to all the things that have been wasting your time, we've just exponentially increased the amount of time you have every day. So imagine your days and your time as a calendar. Before, when you had all these distractions, you would wake up, maybe spend an hour on your phone in bed, go do an activity, spend another hour on your phone, spend 2 hours on social media in the evening. You can see all these distractions and all this time starts to add up. And by eliminating those, we now have all this blank space in our calendar. If we don't fill that space or that time, we're just gonna go right back to the distractions that we've added friction to or that we've eliminated. So now we want to figure out what we want to do instead. Why do we want to eliminate all these distractions? Why do we want to regain control of our attention and our time? What do we want to focus that on? are the things we actually care more about than spending our time on social media. So these are the things we want to put our time and our attention into. For me, once I completely eliminated all these distractions from my life, I started to spend a lot more time with my friends, started to read more books. I had a long reading list that I had put off for years and years. I could never sit down and just read a book. My attention span was too short. Started going for long walks with no distractions and just spending time in nature and being present. I started this YouTube channel. I started coding side projects just for fun, and I started going to the gym more often and playing sports more often. So what are the things that you would like to do with this newfound time? Could be listening to more audiobooks, could be reading more books, could be going for more walks, could be seeing your friends more often, it could be going out more often. Figure out what it is that you care about. What's important to you? What do you want to achieve? Okay? This is what you're gonna fill your calendar with. Now, if you have a calendar or some sort of system that you use to manage your time, this is where you would want to input these new activities that you're going to start, so you commit to doing them. So all this time you've been wasting, you now have it on your calendar as something specific that you want to do with that time. And if you don't use the calendar, just write down the things that you want to start doing. Then when you're next distracted, take out that list. Maybe it's on an index card. Don't put it on your phone. Look at it and say, okay, I'm bored right now. I have a bunch of free time. Which one of these things do I want to start doing? Maybe I want to start coding this side project, or I want to launch this clothing brand, or I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to read more books, or I want to go see this friend, or I want to travel. Maybe I'll look into booking a trip. Write down this list and keep it on you. And when you're bored, just start doing those things. If you enjoyed this video, I also made a video about how I manage my time with ADHD using the time block method. You can click here to check that out, or you can click here to watch a video that YouTube thinks that you will enjoy. So hopefully you will. All right. Thanks for watching.